It all started with a simple memory. I was scrolling through my phone, laughing at a silly video, when suddenly an old clip popped up. 1 minute, just a tiny moment from our past. But the way she reacted showed me everything I needed to know. To give you a little background, I grew up in a family that never had much. Every euro counted. Every little expense was carefully budgeted. My girlfriend, on the other hand, came from a normal family, like so many others. We met when we were 14, and for 12 years, we've always been together. Her parents knew about my struggles, and they helped us quietly, without ever making me feel small. Fast forward to when we were 18, we rented the cheapest apartment we could find in the worst neighborhood. Money was always tight, and in those 3 years, we hung out with friends exactly 7 times. That was our life then, saving every cent, dreaming quietly. But here's where it gets intense. At 21, with her encouragement, I took the biggest risk of my life. I started working independently. For months, I worked day and night, paying off debts, covering my friend's salary, and hoping for a break. And finally, the hard work paid off. We bought our first house without loans, without help. The moment we held the key, everything changed. I recorded a short video. Our hands were trembling, our hearts racing. When the door opened, she broke down in tears, shouting, "We did it! We really did it!" And that 1 minute clip became a memory that would stay with me forever. And now, 4 years later, we've made improvements, turned that house into a home, and our little angel, Marty, is 3 years old. Just a few hours ago, watching that same old video again, her reaction caught me completely off guard. She kissed my hands and whispered words I'll never forget. And in that moment, I realized life, in all its ordinary chaos, can also be extraordinarily beautiful. I still remember that day vividly, as if it was etched in my memory forever. The air was crisp, carrying a faint scent of fresh paint and new wood, a mix that instantly made the house feel alive. The sun was just beginning to set, casting golden streaks across the empty rooms. Each corner, each wall seemed to hum with possibility. I could hear the soft creak of the floorboards under our cautious steps, each sound echoing like a tiny heartbeat of this new life we had fought so hard to build. My hands were still trembling when I held the keys, the cold metal surprisingly heavy with meaning. I glanced at her, and I could see her eyes glistening with a mix of disbelief and joy. Every line of her face, every tiny wrinkle around her eyes when she smiled, seemed to glow under the warm light filtering through the dusty windows. I could smell the faint, lingering aroma of cleaning products, an odd combination of lemon and disinfectants, but somehow it felt comforting. It felt like home. I remember thinking, is this really happening? After all the struggles, all the nights we stayed awake worrying about bills, all the sacrifices we made, are we finally here? And then, when she opened the door, it was like the world itself exhaled with us. Her cry, raw and unrestrained, filled the empty rooms. "We did it! We really did it!" she yelled, her voice breaking, almost shattering with emotion. She flung her arms around me, and I could feel her warmth, her heartbeat, fast and frantic against my chest. That one moment, that 1 second, captured 12 years of life, 12 years of hope, struggle, and unwavering love. In that house, every little detail suddenly seemed monumental. The bare wooden floors, The simple kitchen cabinets, the cracked tiles in the bathroom, they weren't flaws. They were proof of the journey we had endured. Each imperfection whispered the story of late nights spent saving, of counting coins, of skipping small luxuries just to make sure we could keep going. And I could almost hear the echoes of our past selves, young and determined, walking these very halls in imagination, dreaming of this moment. The following months were full of tiny victories that felt like miracles. We painted the walls with colors we loved: soft blues, warm creams, gentle yellows. The smell of fresh paint filled every corner, and somehow it felt like the house itself was breathing, taking in our laughter, our music, our stories. We renovated the kitchen slowly, carefully, turning it into a place where we could imagine family dinners, where our daughter would one day draw on the table and spill juice on the floor without fear. Every improvement, every new piece of furniture, every small decoration became a symbol of our patience, resilience, and hope. And then came Marty, our little angel, 3 years ago. Holding her for the first time, smelling her soft baby hair, feeling the tiny warmth of her body against mine, it was overwhelming. Life had gone from survival mode to a richness I had never dared to imagine. I often found myself watching her sleep, tracing the curve of her cheek with my finger, thinking about how fragile yet resilient life was. Every giggle, every small step she took, was a reminder of how far we had come. I could almost taste the sweetness of this newfound life, savoring it in a way that I never did when money was tight and every day was a challenge. A few hours ago, when we watched that old video again, it was like reliving a sacred memory. Her eyes filled with tears once more, soft and shimmering, her lips trembling as she kissed my hands. "I always knew you were the one," she whispered, "but I wasn't expecting it so soon." I felt an intense warmth flood through me, a quiet pride mixed with astonishment, as if the universe had finally paused to nod at our perseverance. We kissed, we cuddled, and for a few minutes, the world outside stopped existing. Even when Marty appeared, blinking curiously at the sight of our shared joy, it felt perfect. Our little family, wrapped in love, in hope, in triumph, there was nothing else we wanted. And in that moment, standing there in the middle of our home, I realized something important. Life is not always grand or glamorous. Sometimes it's the small, trembling moments, the shaking hands, the whispered words, the tears that fall quietly that define the richness of our lives. We had faced years of uncertainty, yet here we were, surrounded by warmth, love, and the tangible results of our persistence. Every smell, every sound, every color in that house was a reminder. Happiness is not given. It is built, slowly and carefully, with courage, patience, and above all, love. Standing there in our home, with Marty giggling nearby, I realized something simple but powerful. Life isn't about perfection, it's about love, effort, and small victories. Every trembling hand, every tear, every whispered "we did it" had led us to this moment. And that's the lesson I want to share with you. Keep going, even when things are hard, because your efforts will show in ways you never imagined. Now, let's practice a couple of useful English phrases you can use in daily conversations. 1. I can't believe this. This expresses surprise, excitement, or disbelief. Example: I can't believe we finally moved into our house. 2. We did it. A simple phrase to celebrate an achievement together. Example: we studied hard for the exam, and we did it. Let's practice shadowing together. Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. I can't believe this. We did it. Great. Try saying them with your own excitement, imagining your own success or happy moment. The more you repeat, the more natural it will feel in real conversations. So, what can we take from this story? Life will always have challenges. Sometimes money is tight, sometimes dreams seem far away. But if you persist, support each other, and celebrate small victories, you'll create moments that make all the struggles worthwhile. Just like us, a house, a family, happiness, and countless small memories that we'll cherish forever. Remember, every story, every memory, and every little achievement is an opportunity to learn English, connect with emotions, and practice speaking naturally. Keep shadowing, keep repeating, and one day, you look back and realize you did it too.